I'm kind of going to stay away from, the last game, Duke. You guys can ask questions if you want to, but that seems like it's so long ago that we'd be beating a dead horse with that. But after a much-needed bye week, just for our kids to get fresh, get a little bit healthier, self-evaluate where we are. Again, halfway through the season after 6, with half the season to go in the ACC. Obviously great week, and we faced a great Syracuse team. And, when I say great, anytime they play the Pitt Panthers, we know we're in for a dogfight. We get to go up in the Dome. We know it'll be hot. We know it'll be stuffy. We know it'll be loud one way or another. And, the Orange will be ready for the Panthers. They always are. It's funny how you remember just about every game. There's only about one I really want to forget, one win I want to forget as far as how many points were scored that day. But got a lot of respect for Dino Babers and who he is. He's just a great football coach that, motivates his team, will get them going. Had a tough loss, last weekend in North Carolina State, so I know we'll get their best as we travel up to Syracuse, New York. Defensively, it starts with their defensive ends. Alton Robinson, has created havoc just about in every backfield he's played this year, last year. He's a first-rounder. Our tackles will have their hands full with him all day. And then Coleman on the other side, Kendall Coleman on the other side is a guy that, again, will create havoc over there. So those are their guys on the edge, I think, again, with what we do and what they do. We'll have to play well and protect well throughout the game. And then we expect Andre Cisco, who dressed for the game the other day, he'll be back. Again, I think he had 7 interceptions a year ago. He's their leader back there. That will really make them feel better in the back end with those DNs they have up front. And then, on offense, and again, looking at really what they do defensively, they zone blitz a lot. They run probably their favorite blitz is the double A gaps, which, looks just like our blitz. So we know what to do with that. That is their favorite, and I feel good with getting their favorite blitz and what we do, and our offense sees it every day. So we've got some things there I think that are an advantage for us since it really came from us. I think in the long run. And then on the other side of the ball, offensively, again, tempo offense like Central Florida. Snapping the ball as quickly as 5 seconds. Averaging about 15 to 17 the last couple weeks here. Seems like every week they get a little faster, so we'll be prepared for that. When they run their fastest, it's going to be quick, now routes, bubble routes, just getting the ball in their playmakers' hands off a similar formation that they ran the play before. So those are all things, obviously, we get a chance to work. And it's nice when you know a team and you've played against a team for as long as we have. Obviously, running the show is, Tommy DeVito, we haven't had a chance, Tony Dungy, I should say Tony Dungy. Dungy, we're glad he's gone. That guy was a great player, and DeVito's getting his first year under his belt and has done some really nice things. Mo Neal, their tailback, 21, as well as Abdul, 23, are two really explosive guys. They like to run the ball on offense, probably running it a little bit more than they have in the past. So we've got to be prepared with all their personnel groupings that they run to handle all that stuff. And then, out at the receiver spot, they have, a trio of guys. Tristan Jackson, a transfer from Michigan State, that, I know who he is. I've talked to those guys up there just to get, exactly who he is physically, so we know a little bit more just because of the contacts up there. And Sean Riley, a little slot guy, also a punt returner, a great player, kickoff returner, dangerous in all aspects, as well as Taj Harris, who's a guy that runs skinny posts on the backside in most routes, and that's probably his favorite route, and he won on us last year. So overall, great football team, and again, it's going to be a battle. Both teams will be ready to go. So, questions?
Is there anything special to playing inside the Carrier Dome, or is it just a normal football game?
Special? It's a normal football game. I mean, the field's 100 yards long. I think the special thing is the heat turned up and the music. It'll be, probably 50 degrees out up in Syracuse, New York, Friday night at 7:05 or whatever time the kickoff is, and it'll be like 95 in that indoor. That's the memorable thing I think about the Dome, is the heat's turned up and it'll be hot. So, we'll turn our heat up over here in Pittsburgh and get it going.
What do you guys think your biggest point of emphasis is this week?
Being locked in, and just like every week. There's no point of emphasis. being locked in and executing. It's about what we do when we go up there. Obviously we watch the tape on Syracuse and find out who they are, what they do. But it's going to come down to fundamentals, execution, and discipline. And been disappointed the last couple of weeks with some of the way the flags have been thrown around, and I don't like where our discipline is. Really, Syracuse had the same problem. We got to correct that. It's hard to go on the road, as I told our team this morning before we practiced. Hard to go on the road when you don't do those little things well on all three phases.
Not just the defensive line, but the defense as a whole. How do you feel you guys have been getting after the quarterback for 6 games?
You got to give us above average, I guess, right? I mean, I'd say above average. Again, nobody cares. We know Duke gave up one coming into it. Alabama had one. We had three. That's good. But that was last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. But our guys have done a solid job. But you're one game away from being crappy. You guys will be talking about it on Sunday, going, what the heck? Friday or really Saturday, you guys will be talking about like they got no pressure on the quarterback. So they get the ball out quick. They run a ton of screens. It's hard to pressure them. So we got to be careful when we do, and we've got to be able to get four-man pressure and get some coverage sacks.
They've given up a lot of sacks this year. Is it something that their offense is doing wrong, or is it other defenses just doing well?
Clemson got a few of them. North Carolina State's got a good front, which they did a good job of getting some three-man pressure and some six-man pressure. So it's a combination of good coverage and decision making back there. But we'll have to take care of business.
In your self-scouting, what do you think have been the main elements to help the running game back so far?
I'm not going to get into what it is, but obviously it's some fronts that have taken the run away from what we've done in the past, and obviously Quadri Olson, Darren Hall keeps saying that. I mean, I think once you've had so much experience in that backfield, the tailback spot, you had a pretty mature run, and again, even last year, early in the season, we did not run the ball as well. And then we started to get in the groove as the season went on, and I think it's going to be the same thing. We're going to keep working it. We're going to keep getting better at running the football and get some things that make our offense successful running the football.
Are you seeing a lot of 8-man fronts?
Yeah, we're seeing 8, 9. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of everything. Oh yeah.
Do you have a status update on the Davis brothers? I mean, the Davis.
No,
DJ Davis.
no, we're not talking about those guys.
Who are some of the names?
Jerry, is he working for you now?
No.
Playing over?
Not even, no.
With Paris having to sit for half, I mean, who are some of the names you're looking to step up in that role?
Obviously, Stalker and Bryson Gardner are the two guys, into the boundary. They've gotten all those reps over there, so those will be the two guys.
Is there an appeal process involved in something like that, or is it?
The appeal is when they go up to the box and it's never been done before. So the appeal is when they go look at it, and those guys that make those decisions.
Once the game's over, the decision is made.
Do you feel like there should be an appeal process after that?
I do.
Is this a game you look forward to every year? I mean, you play it every year. There's football, basketball, volleyball, and there's this rivalry. There's always something exciting in this game.
It is an exciting game. I look forward to every game. I mean, every Saturday or Friday night or Thursday night, whatever it may be, is fun. I look forward to every game. I mean, this is special because Syracuse. I really like Dino Babers. So I mean, again, it's got a little different flavor to it. I wish it was home instead of up there. We like home games better, but regardless of who we play, we enjoy those evenings or afternoons.
How did Cradle do?
Jay Cradle did a outstanding job. I think he ended up getting 57 plays, which is great, and that he was able to get that experience. We would have liked to slowly gotten him that experience, but he was thrown in there and took it like we thought. I mean, he's a mature kid that is into it, and our kids had a lot of faith and trust that he was going to go in and get his job done.
Is Gabe going to start on Saturday?
What's that?
Is Gabe going to start on Saturday?
We expect him to.
Why is
And maybe Syracuse got to work for Cradle too. I don't know.
Why does Kylan Johnson fit in seemingly so easily into your defense?
You said Kylan, Jeff? I mean, he's very coachable and very smart. I mean, he could fit in, I think, in any defense. Just because he's a smart kid that loves the game of football, that has goes after it every day. He goes out every day. I mean, I think I said this back in camp, just consistent because he does his job every day and he understands it. And he asks good questions, and that's why he fits in, because he does what we ask him to do. And obviously he's got talent, a ton of talent. I think NFL talent.
You getting a little bit more every week from the backup receivers besides Mack and French?
Yeah, Shockey did some good things last week. Jared Wayne did some nice things. So, yeah, we're getting good work out of those guys. They come in and fill in and catch some balls, and I think they're only going to keep getting better.
I think you and Andre both said you guys were close to kind of finally breaking the return. Maurice was able to the last game. I mean, is that still an evolving process, even with who's returning the kicks?
Yeah, I think every week it's an evolving process. And again, I don't know if we'll get a kick return. Their kickers are outstanding, kicker and punter, I should say. So I don't know if we'll get a punt return or kick return this week. And you practice it, and you get nowadays it seems like you just get less and less of those opportunities to return the game. And if we add it every year, it just seems like there's more and more touchbacks. They've taken the return game out of college football, as a lot of different other things as well. But it's part of the game. So the fewer reps you get at it live, game day, block them, return it. I think the harder it is to get real good at it.
Pat, after the Duke game, you said you sure hope that Elias and Chase will be available. Any update there at all with those two guys?
Yeah, we sure hope. I hope. I pray. I hope so. Day not for the year.
This is kind of a moment. Would you be in favor of eliminating kickoffs?
Would I be in favor of eliminating kickoffs? Yeah, because it would save us. It'd save us 10 minutes a week in practicing it for nothing, And I think sometimes your kids feel the same way. Like we're not going to get a chance, and then you drop back all of a sudden. You're like, oh, wait a second, it's returnable. But yeah, I mean, based on way it is and how good the kickers are kicking the thing in the end zone, it wouldn't bother me.